come to discuss about education, and it's all about the upcoming event which has to do with the spelling bee and the competition. They have come to talk more about this one, but we have two presidents from the foundation. They have come to talk about this particular spelling bee competition, which has to do with. And so my guests are, we have um, deputy, that's Miles deputy. He's the country director, along with the public relation officer Daniel D. Colley Jr. Both will explain more about this spelling bee competition that is just hanging around the corner. We'll tell them more about it. Let's go over to them so that we can start the ball rolling. Let's start with my morning chief.
Good morning, teacher, and good morning to the listening audience.
Let's go over to the PRO. Chief.
So, good morning, Chief, and good morning to the people of Margaret County. My name is Daniel D. Colley Jr. I'm the PRO for the foundation, and we are here this morning to talk about the upcoming edition of the A.Shaffah.Foundation.
Let's go to the country director and tell us about a bit of the brain behind this spelling bee competition, which has to do with A.Shaffah.Foundation. Can you give us a gist of this particular individual behind this process?
Okay. Well, the A.Shaffah.Foundation was founded in 2018, and the founder and CEO is Darius Augustine Shaffah, who stay in the diaspora.
Okay. And since then, how has it been like with this foundation?
Yeah.
Has it been like push and style, and whether it has or gaps and so on? This foundation, has it been consistent with what it stands for?
Okay. The foundation since 2018 have been consistent in giving back, because the dream of the foundation is to give back to society. And since 2018, we have been constantly distributing food on old folks, orphanages, and less privileged children. So we decided to bring this sanitary, I call it, initiative on board, which is the upcoming A.Shaffah.Foundation Regional Spelling Bee Competition.
How did you get in contact with Shaffah, reaching this far, where you're serving as the country director for his foundation? How did you come across him?
Okay, we all grew up in research camp, where we used to be coming up. At the end of the day, Darius had the opportunity, he traveled.
Okay. So you're talking about the research camp that got demolished?
Yeah, the research camp.
The old one?
Yeah, the old research camp.
Okay. That way back when men were boys.
Okay. We were running around doing one or two things. All of a sudden, Darius got the opportunity, he traveled. So, being somebody who is always passionate to give back to society, he decided to bring us together, his friends from research camp. So we had the first program, it was about friends of research camp. So we came together, and after the program, we talked about it and thought it was that this dream shouldn't just be about the friends of research camp. Let us give back to society.
And these are things you were telling you at the beginning.
Yeah. So when we brought the idea to him, being somebody who also is noted for that, he decided to go our route. So in the end, we started the foundation and started on a small scale first. We started distributing food around, and when Ebola hit, we never were arrested. We were doing the lockdown. We were in community, giving to people who we fed were in need, knowing that people have to leave the street 3 o'clock to go home, and in Liberia it's difficult. People need to go sell in the evening before they find food. So when we called him, we told him, this is it, there's a situation. He came in quickly with what he could, and we were in a community distributing food on people. And since then, the dream have never died. We've been distributing and supporting all our educational programs.
Has it really impacted the community he's from, the county he's from? Has already impacted over the past years and so on? If someone can testify, say, this foundation, I must admit, this is what I've gained or I've gotten from this foundation as a living testimony.
Yeah, okay, yes.
So, besides just a praise and worship you're about to give him now.
No. There are a lot of people who can. There are people who reach out to him, excluding the foundation, the following the foundation initiative.
Okay.
And because of that, at times they reach out to him on their own, and personal stuff, and he has never let anybody down.
Okay.
He always try his best, at least, to help in any situation that he feels.
I mean, he can step into help. Let's go to the PRO. How you came across A.Shaffah? Today you are due to him serving as public relations officer.
That's a very good question. But I got to know Mr. A.Shaffah at a very youthful age, and that is at the Harvard Elementary School. The both of us were in school together, but as a bigger brother, though we were in the same class, not really equal, but about age now. And Darius grew up with a passion of giving back to people, though at the time he never had. So we sat in class from the lower grade level, grade 4, all the way upon his departure from Liberia. So we've been together for a very long time. In fact, people don't even know that he's my friend. People feel that he's my brother. And myself, I don't tell people that he's my friend. He's just like a brother now to me. So I've been knowing for a very long time, not just today.
To see people from that side where they have the opportunity to have, reached that far, that they're going to the US and so on, and most times they don't like to build their friendship around people who they mingle with, feel that, coming around, they will dupe you and so on, just as it is. And I see a lot of young guys around, and you want to do young persons.
Yeah, that's why I just told you.
Was it difficult for him to have built that friendship that you people had, in previous time, for him to have, reached the level that he's currently, occupying today?
No time. He had
He
never.
still took the friendship the way it was.
In fact, I was very surprised the very first time I received overseas call was from this particular CEO today. At the time, he was not CEO yet, and that was in 2014. After his travel a year, I didn't hear from him. But then one of these days, I was in my room, and I received a call. Yeah, and I answered the call. It was Darius. I said, "Wow."
You never had that number before.
I never even had his number. I didn't know. I never knew how he got my number. So when he called me, he said, "Oh man, it's me. In fact, you want to speak more than me?" I said, "Oh man, come on." He said, "My man, my man don't be speaking like you read to me." I said, "But who is this?" He said, "My man, this is Darius." So
at the time, he did not introduce himself.
He never introduced himself, but he was just talking like somebody who is here. He said, "My man,
this is one guy from Monrovia."
Yeah, he said, "My man." He said, "My man, this is your brother, Darius, my man in the US. You know about." I said, "Yes." I said, "I've been wishing to talk to you." He said, "Wow, my man, you get me now." And from that time, from 2014 up to now, there have been no single day I lost communication with him.
Okay.
There are a lot of things even that I can boast of Darius today. Like I told you, today I want to say God first. Being counted among the educated people, I counted upon him.
Okay.
Being counted
one way or the other, he helped you along.
Not even one way to another.
Okay.
All along to even
you.
complete high school, it was the same friend.
Okay.
To complete even my first
and
study.
That's why people can say, "Show me a friend," and I will tell you.
Yeah, to even complete my first study at the Kakata Real Teacher Training Institute. At the time I was on the Dawn, it was him. Currently, to even earn a degree, it was this same Darius. Even up to now, place since I'm living in town, all along Darius have been behind me, paying my rent fully. I'm not saying it like giving himself praise, but I'm just telling you who this Darius man actually is. And those are things I never even thought of.
Okay.
And there are friends we know from the past who traveled to the US who had never, and we have more proximity even than Darius.
Okay.
Who had never thought of us one day, but not with Darius. So for sure, this Darius, he grew up with a passion of giving back to people, and he had never dropped a piece up to now.
That's good. So the reason why I went that route is, I think this is my first time interacting with both of you regarding this foundation, and so I wanted to know the genesis of how the whole thing came about and reaching this far. So let's go to the reason why both of you are here. I guess the public is eager to knowing it, which has to do with the spelling bee competition.
Yes.
And I was listening to the promo that I just played. I was hearing something like 62
Edition 2.
Yeah,
edition
second
2.
edition.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that means you had the first edition. But tell us about how the first edition went.
Okay. Let my director speak to that.
Let the community director
Okay.
speak and before the communication person come in.
Yeah, we actually the spelling bee competition started last year, and being the first big I call it educational initiative that we are taking on our own. There will be a lot of struggle along the way. But when it comes to preparation, we were on time, everything went smoothly. And we had 3 awards. We had the first, second, three prizes, the first, second, and third prize. So last year, the student that won the 50,000, the first place, the prize of 50,000, she hailed from the
50,000 Liberian dollars.
Yeah, she hailed from the Todostown Public School. Yeah, and the second place, the guy who won it hailed from the Peterstown Public School, and the third place came from Montebello Empire. All of the prizes were given on the day of the final.
Okay.
There was nothing left
You
over.
didn't schedule people say next week we'll find another time to
And
call
each
it
of
for
the
that.
school and their coaches was certificated. We had the top 10 students, we were giving them medal, and we provided school materials for all of our winners. First, second, and third. We had a successful program.
Okay. You had targeted schools at the time?
Yeah, at the time we were targeting 25 institutions.
Okay.
So we targeted 25 institutions. Each of these 25 institutions was sending 4 students. So from the anxiety of the program last year and the success we had, we decided to capture up to 50 schools. And right now we got like 51 schools that we anticipate to go into the second edition with.
Okay.
Because the way the program went, our CEO was watching live, and when he followed the program, he got interested. Other things that were not inclusive, he added that we end up giving the first place winner of first semester scholarship. If you listen to the promo right now for this edition, we also is selling it there. It goes up to this edition.
Okay.
And we also awarded the best performing student, one child from Montebello. I can remember back then we were calling her Mary Bro. She's also benefiting from the A.Shaffah.Foundation scholarship. These are things that were not part of the edition, but we added it there and decided this edition to introduce it as well.
You talk about the scholarship aspect?
Yeah. We try
for best performing student.
No, for the first place.
For the first place?
Yeah.
Okay.
The first place. So we try to introduce.
If you say the first place, how is it going to be like? You having students who just going to be a part of the spelling bee, and you're going to have selection of students from the schools that are going to be a part.
The school,
is that how it works for the first time?
Yes.
Okay.
The school sent 4 students. Each school brought 4 students. And each of the students were playing individual games.
Okay.
So they let the students dropping until we level the top 3. Okay. So the top 3 played until the first person emerged first, second, and third. So that was how the process was like. And like I said, we provided all of their materials. So from the way the program went, our CEO also got impressed.
What are some of the materials that were provided with a session of what the students tend to to have won the time?
Okay, we provided the school materials like the book bag, bag bag, calculator, geometry set, pen, copybook, and the copybook talking about 4 dozen of copybook. For the first winner, 3 dozen is the second winner, and 2 dozen of copybook to the third winner. So this edition, our CEO also decided to step out the cash prices from 50,000 now. First we'll be carrying 75,000. So it just tells you how successful the past edition were.
Good. In that case, with the spelling words that were given to students to study this, I don't know whether you give them let's say words to study, or you just show them the source of where your entire question near coming from the soul. Okay. How was it like?
We prepare the words, the rules, give out the rules to the school, give out the words to the school as as well.
Mhm.
So we gave out the awards after the first game. We got 1 week to we had 1 week to the second game. We gave additional award. So we were distributing the award like 1,000 the first game.
Thousand.
Yeah, the
Thousand
first
words
yeah the
to
first
study.
game. Yeah.
Yeah, among the 1,000, anyone can be.
Yeah, that was the first game.
Okay.
But when we noticed the difficulty students were having with 1,000 words, we cut it down to 500 words.
500 words.
Yeah. So we started giving them 500 words per game. And
Wow.
after each game, we gave you 1 week to prepare for.
And that has to do with the play for every time you meet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the first 500 words will be played for the first game. After that, the 1 week in between. So we'll give you another 500 words the same day, and then you can prepare yourself for the.
With the students who participated, who were they? They came from the junior high level, or from elementary level, or from the senior high level. How was it like for the first field? Before we go to the second field, they want to know how the first field went before coming back to the second field.
We were doing it I got it from junior high to elementary. So you can bring your full students from elementary if you think your elementary students can perform well in the spelling.
Mm.
But this year you can follow our Facebook page. The games are there. Just follow A.Shaffah.Foundation. Even YouTube. We got YouTube. All of our activities are on YouTube.
Okay.
So you can follow and watch.
So besides what you guys did with those schools, preparators and so on, in return, what did they tell you, especially with that first phase? And that, of course, I know you took as a challenge, but to see how it will come successfully, that you can take the second phase of it. How was it like?
Yeah, for the first edition of the tournament,
Because some will say the
we
whole
had some
thing.
issues with the coaches.
Yeah,
We had some issues with the coaches because at time when something is observed in the game, they started putting all those that kind of attitude, but we were able to seize
and the attitude came over they cheating at our school.
Yeah, some of them
you know, begin performing, but they're doing that if to say they get interest in the whole thing.
Some of them were feeling cheated more, especially where a student who, because the program was like you spell pronounce. So if they gave you the word, you pronounce the word, spell the word, and pronounce the word. So a student came on stage and he didn't get the word right. So he did not ask for the content of the word, like the meaning, the definition. He started to spell another word that's similar to the word. And
that particular word was probably 500 words.
Yeah, it was very similar to the word. So when the judges pronouncing it being wrong, some of the coaches had issue with it. And some of them had issue with the pronunciation of the words, but we were able to handle it, and we dealt with everything.
You're going to use the same judges for this second phase? Or you're going to have some changes in
the entire process changed. Okay. We gave the entire work to a particular person. He's going to hire those competent people he feel he can work with.
You mean the CEO?
No, the head judge.
The head judge.
Yeah,
okay.
We got a head judge who is Asif Kabakoli. So he will be the head judge and he will bring the targeted people he can work with. But for the past edition, we were the one who brought those judges to work along with Kabakoli. So we had a lot of hard time. But for this edition, he's going to come with his own set of judges.
Okay. So that at least you can have something in your own this time around.
Yeah, sure.
PRO, you want to add to what he said?
Yeah.
From your own view on the first phase of it, before transitioning to the second phase.
Yeah, the first phase actually, it was the first time, so we have some challenges, but those challenges never defied us. However, we worked very harder, and the program was successful. Like he said, for the success of that program, it gives a motivation to our CEO that even today, the various cash prices you've seen it being very increased. And when we drop to the second edition, we will be talking about those various cash prices, and not only the prices, but what also the persons stand to benefit. And all those ideas came from the first edition. There were things we didn't get rightly during the first edition. We have improved on that. So like he was talking about, some people felt cheated. It's always the case. Some even try to shape blame that you favor this team, that is the reason why, and I know sometimes they behaving like this. But the rules of the game is very fine. So if you understand the rules of the game and you are playing the game, even we that are observing the game or the spectators actually enjoy the game because why? You understand the rules. When they give you the word, you just don't jump up and spell the word as one. What you do is that follow the first rules. They say spell jump, be able to pronounce, you spell the word, and after spelling the word, you pronounce. So if the student is too zealous, and when they know the word and they are too zealous, and sometimes you see they won't follow those rules. Spell jump, John, jump, but they have forgotten that they didn't pronounce before spelling. So
Okay.
yeah.
So the rule like it kind of tricky. So you have to be very smart.
Yeah, you gotta be smart.
Okay.
Because the thing is mental game.
Okay.
It's not just
But
about.
in that case, you have any orientation to tell you that this is the rule of the game.
Of course.
So that if you miss this step, obviously points will be deducted from you, or you may fulfill it. And so, how was it like? Did you, tell them what the entire thing gonna be like?
That is the reason why, first of all, we have the coaches
It's
training.
tricky. After you explain, well, you say, so how do you call it? Is it John? But you never said John first.
Yeah, he just fell. So that is the reason before we get to the game,
Okay.
we teach you the rules, and the coaches have the rules.
Okay.
So you also interpret those rules to your players every day, and we also interpret the rules to the coaches.
Okay.
So when you come to the game, even before the game starts, we also remind you about the rules. Don't forget the rules. The rules is pronounce, spell, pronounce.
Okay.
So when I say spell John, you don't just get up, you say John. And some people, like
so
I
you
said,
call John first.
you will call John first, then you say John, John, John. So when you are too zealous because the word seems to be simple or you know it, you just say John, John, but you have forgotten that you didn't pronounce before spelling. So some coaches who they didn't actually follow the rules, they felt that was a cheating. But when we started to interpret the rules, they all relaxed. So those were some of the challenges actually we're facing.
Kind of tricky.
And
so you gotta be smart.
yeah, you gotta be smart.
You gotta be relaxed.
You gotta be relaxed.
When you're targeting these
you don't rush. Because even I myself not here, I participated in a spelling bee competition before, and I failed because of that. Now that I never knew the word for Harvey Elementary, they say spell the word, and I just jump up and spell the word without pronouncing. And after that,
so your brother see by again.
I was so surprised when the lady said, I think a Pisco lady, she said, "I'm sorry, Daniel." I said, "Wow, but I spelled the word." They said, "Yes, you spelled the word, but you didn't follow the procedure." I said, "Oh, wow." So that's exactly how our students sometimes when they miss, when we say, "Oh no, I'm sorry, my dear, you didn't get it." Oh, some of the coaches who don't understand, they start to make mountain out of it. But those were some of the challenges we set up and we were faced with. But for now, we have already overcome all those challenges.
Are you going to use that same rule again?
The rules still remains the same.
Wow.
But the only thing we're going to revise the rules. There are some things that we saw
to
modify the rules. So we have that for the second edition now.
Wow. Let's go to the country director. You are targeting, you said, for 50 schools for the second phase. How many schools you are targeting right now?
For the second edition, for the second edition, we were able to capture 51 institutions.
Wow. While the first was 25.
Yeah, the first was 25, but the second edition, we were able to capture 51.
And those, where are those schools? Are they in the district or they are from district 1, 2, 3?
Yeah, we got majority of the school from the district, and we got a few schools from district 1, like Disco Hill, from Needlewind as far as Disco Hill.
Okay.
We got a few schools from that side.
So with those, I know some of those schools are new.
Yeah.
Right. So let's go back to the old school that you used first. Did you also bring it on board, or a new school that you're dealing with?
No. We added the other schools that were captured to the initial 25 schools that we used from the first edition.
Okay.
We did communication with every one of them.
How did you get those schools? How you did your evaluation of bringing these schools in this competition? How did it happen? Was it like you had interest in, okay, I'm a school there,
No,
how you did it?
There was a tracking process. You see, the A.Shaffah.Foundation, we are an institution that we believe in fairness. Last year when we had an edition, few schools that were not captured, they failed somehow, and other people started calling back. So we send people in the field. If you are from the college community, we assign you there to collect the name of the institutions from that place. And all of the schools were targeted from that side, and the name was given to us. We send people to, they need to win bail. They have their bail just like that, and we were able to get the set schools. First, we were around 45 schools.
Okay.
So when we had 45, the information started going, other schools started calling, even up to now. If you are interested, because we have not conducted the coaches training yet.
Okay.
If the institution is interested, you can just get the number. We end up sending other people email instead of sending the letter around. We're just sending email now.
Okay.
When you're interested, you hit up all, we just send your email, we just send your communication through mail. That's how it process.
To have your school.
Yeah, other schools that were calling I had interest. Up to now, school was still calling. Even yesterday, I had school that called I got interest. But because we'll be having a coaches training on tomorrow, so if those schools that will send their coaches will be the school that will go to the competition.
Okay.
So if we conduct the coaches training tomorrow, we'll not be taking any other school.
So
and even if we capture your name and you are not part of the coaches training, you are not going to be part of it.
So then, in that case, what procedure or mechanism you put in place to making sure that the coaches, you said 51 schools already, so it should be 51 coaches, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So to bringing all of them on board, are you also communicating with them to making sure that they will not give us? We won't get any information from you. So I always say, I'll school not part of it when you already captured us, and so how are you reaching out to them to see to it that they all be in attendance for this training, which is very important. The PRO can talk about that one.
So this the thing is very simple.
Because the law blinking.
District 2, we divided the constituencies, we captured the school based on the constituencies.
Okay.
So that is, you see, Coventry, schools under Coventry have been tracked, and schools under Doddlestown, Barclay Fan, Smith Notice, and we added Nindonwen, Jongo Fine, and Plugs Habel Isel.
Okay.
So those schools track. We have the names of the coaches and along with their numbers. So we have been communicating with them 3 days, in fact a week now before the coaches training tomorrow, telling them that, oh yes, you did receive communication from the A.Shaffah.Foundation. So you have to present or send your coach for the training, and which will be there. That's tomorrow Friday, right?
Yeah.
That's tomorrow Friday at 10 a.m. here at the Harvard Multilateral High School. So all of what my director just said, when coaches refuse or your school refuse, any school that refuse to send their coaches or their coach will not be part of the competition. If that will happen, perhaps that judgment will come from my director or the poor director, whether we should accept them. But as it takes, we are communicating with them, and we have been communicating with them. Even as I'm sitting right after the studio time, I'm also going to remind them.
Okay.
Regarding tomorrow, so that if you don't come, you and I say, oh, but I received the letter. Why will you say I'm there? You weren't there because you refuse to send your coaches. So the answer is we are communicating with them to make sure that all of them come. Okay. Because at 51 schools, we are anticipating 51 coaches.
Okay. And just to add to what Daniel just said, because we know there will be other people who will say they may receive the call, he did not come back to the administration to tell them he received call. We were on the field yesterday from institution to institution.
Okay.
We were sticking flyers around, and we kept flyers to all of the campuses. And when we dropped the flyer, we were informing them about the coaches training on tomorrow. Okay. That was the process we were carry on the whole of yesterday.
Okay. Yeah. Which is important.
Yeah.
What time the training will be?
Tomorrow by 10 a.m.
In the morning?
Yeah.
And where is the venue of the training?
Harvard Multilateral Campus.
10 a.m. Okay, that's good. So let's go back to the students, the participating students. Now, from what I got from you, the first phase, each student were carrying 1,000 word, right? Later on, you reduce it based on the burden it has and so on to 500.
Yeah.
This time around, you have 51 schools participating into this spelling bee competition. How many words you have come up with to see to it that each student can be able to study for the time? Yes, they're getting right, in that process this time around.
Yeah, then we are going with the 500 watts.
The same 500.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
We decided to go with the 500 watt again because the total number of schools, if you get lesser watt, there's a possibility that we will absorb the watts and even be looking for watts that we did not give them. So to avoid that, we gave them up to 500 watts. So we will drill them in the 500 watts until the number of students we want to move to the next game is absorbed before we end the first game.
So for every game, the 500 watt, there will be watts that will come from the 500 that you have. As you check it.
Yeah.
To reduce, that's how it goes, right?
So we gave you the 500 watts to study for the first game.
Okay.
Right after the first game, that whole 500 watts is out.
Oh wow.
The same day we will give you additional 500 watts to get prepared for the next game. Yeah.
So, to every stage you will get new watts.
Yeah, sure.
So why you keep changing why you keep giving them new, why are you doing that one? You burden them, man.
No, because we feel this is a competition, right? And
Okay.
500 watts.
So you want the strong shall survive.
Yeah, if you give this all of the schools 500 watts and they go and master the 500 watts, it means the tournament will not end. We will just be dead. Yeah, so in a way that at least for the first game we'll have people dropping and then we'll be able to move to the next game with our next ones.
Okay. So that is good. I mean, I just thought to get that, for the listeners to understand what exactly you keep changing, for every stage you really might get 500 to start with. So let me ask you this one. With the participating students that are going to be part of this upcoming event, do you have plans for the new ones that you already incorporated in terms of training them, how to know the kind of trick they were talking about, Daniel was talking about? You got to know, the techniques and so on. Like, for example, like he said, spell John, John. You did not call John, then you just spelled it. How this one going to be there? Because they coming on board with blank mind. You got to open it and tell them this is how it is.
This is why we even coming to the radio station. Because before every game, we'll be appearing on air to make emphasis on the entire process. And besides that, that's another reason why we are staging the coaches training on tomorrow.
Okay.
It is in the coaches training that the rules will be read to the coaches and we all will discuss them. Besides, each coach will have to carry a copy of the rules to his players. So when you go, you train your players, you acquaint them with the rules. And besides that, when we go in the hall before the game starts this edition, the rules will be read to the students.
Okay.
So I think in that way we will not have people shaving blame, because after all of the processes, we still go to the hall to the event again that day, and we will also read the rules to the students.
Okay, that's also good. Let's look at the new thing you're adding onto this second phase of the spelling bee competition. You talk about scholarship. This time around, though, we're not part of the first phase. This time around, will be awarded. How is it going to be like?
Okay, like I said, from the first stage, our CEO got interested and he
got motivated.
Yeah, he got motivated and he's awarded the first winner scholarship. Right now, she's benefiting from our scholarship, though it was not the plan. So we decided to go with it this edition. So whoever wins,
instead of just giving both banks and all that.
Yeah. So whoever wins the competition this year, they're gonna walk away with first semester scholarship for the current school year, and all of their school's materials as well.
So what if that student change his or her school?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Whichever school you go to,
it will follow you.
Yeah, will be responsible.
So I mean, they young are going to Cali, are going to the other school here. I just hold out the thing what they thought will lay by it. Because maybe they finish knowing exactly how much you pay into the school that you're in, and they have done the calculation. So whether if the student, go about changing their school, whether the scholarship is still follow.
Yeah, the first thing is the scholarship is open, right? It's open. It's not like we only limit it to government institution. So there's a possibility that the person who will win the year could come from Lutheran or the beginning.
Okay.
So once you come on before the beginning, we will pay your first semester school fee, whatever schools you go to the following year.
Okay. The prices for this year, I want you to for this second phase, I want you to re-echo it so we can go to the line and say, wow, I will get interact with the public.
For this second phase, the first winner will walk away with 75,000 Liberian dollar.
Okay.
Book bag, quality bag bag, calculator, geometry step.
What the book bag coming from America? Because they were the we talking about high quality when it comes.
That is, they got bag now. Some of them might go buy 500 there, no. But the bag is of quality. When you see the bag, you will know.
Oh, you're not more dig it bag.
No, you see the bag, you will know that.
You see the rope hanging on it.
Yeah, your calculator, your geometry set, your pen tossing, and your copyboard tossing with a giant size trophy, gold giant size trophy. If you go to those school, like I went there the other day to check on our student that we got there on a scholarship. I saw our gold trophy sitting in the office. So that's something I'm going to take back from you. You win a trophy, you carry the trophy to your institution, your 75,000, all of the school's material along with the scholarship. For the second place, you'll be working over 45,000 and your school materials.
Okay.
And the third place, you're going to be working over 35,000 and all of the school's materials as well.
That's more money, oh.
Yeah, so that's the
process. Serious money. So if a serious student.
Yeah, for serious money.
Yeah, so the one that will be very serious into the process, going everything constant to put their feet to the fire and study. And the money they call you. So if you come number one, you get 75,000 Liberian dollars to walk away with and carry to your school. Maybe your school will tell you, say, yeah, now we can carry it. I just smart them again. When they'll do you don't give you a small thing. And then the second winner, according to him, 45,000 Liberian dollars. The third winner, at least 35,000. Too much money for one person, like what one of the musicians said, or on one of their songs. But that's how it is. This is all about competition. It's about enlightening the minds of the young people. So the A.Shaffah.Foundation spelling bee competition. The second phase of it.
The second edition.
Okay, the second edition. So when this program kicks off?
Okay, it's very important you ask that question because the launch is the 21st of March. March 21st is the launch. But if you follow the promo in our flyer, we had a bit mistaken on the day, like the 11th will be holiday. So we just captured that 11 will be a holiday. So we had to change the 11th to the 4th.
Okay.
The 4th of April. So March 21st is going to be the launch. March 28th will be the first game. And the 4th of April will be the third game. And after the third game, we're going to have 2 weeks in between because we'll have the 11th coming as holiday, fast and prayer day. So the final will be on the 28th of April.
Okay. So it's good that the public know about the timetable for the upcoming event. So it means that you have time to have themselves adjusted in order to be a part of the entire process. So 0777-969696 is the number you can use to call, and maybe you have questions to what the guys have said in studio regarding the A.Shaffah.Foundation spelling bee competition, the second edition coming up, and you heard the time that's already stated for the entire upcoming event. So for those schools, first you heard them talking about the first phase went for 25 schools, and this time around they have added additional 25 schools. Wow! So each student will be carrying 500 words to study, and so without it changing anything, like Fred when they started the first phase, they gave 1,000 words. Like when you said that, I said, wow! Now that I want, you got to put your lesson one side and focus on it. But looking at it for fairness and so on, they say no, let's reduce it to 500. At least that one can help. So for every play, every game they go for, they'll give you 500. So when I game over, that 500 will finish, they pack it one side. Then they give you additional 500 to go for the second game again. So it's a serious, it's very serious. So if you go in there, you gotta go there with all your might, and you gotta be serious because they get money, serious money into this game, especially for the second edition. So the first person that will win this competition, according to him, which is the country director, he said you'll walk away with 75,000 Liberian dollars. Not school, the student that participating. Then you'll carry to your school. You left with your principal and say, you're too smart, carry home, you go buy different uniform and new shoes and so on. So you will decide what to do. But again, maybe if a good student say, okay, so you know what, happened, the 25,000 or this one can be here, or I'll put him a place to carry. So it just level your strength. So the second winner will walk away with 45,000 Liberian dollars. Then the last winner, which is the third winner, 35,000 Liberian dollars. So if your son or your daughter already part of this competition, it means that you have to tell that person, say you have to put in time to win that money. Because when you bring that money home, that's one better will buy. You know. So I just like to say it so that you can know how serious the entire edition is. So we want you to be a part so that you can get serious money. The guy wants to say something, and some of the people, the guys up there want to.
Let me quickly make operation on what you are saying. For the physical cash, the school decided because
so we go to the
school is the one that's sending the student.
Okay, but the student will be in front of the money.
Yeah, only the school.
Because they won't carry the money straight there.
Yeah, only the school.
That money issue is serious.
It's very serious. So it goes to the institution.
Because the money is 75,000 Liberian dollars. And the second one, 45,000. So it's serious money, you know. So plenty of money for one person. So let's talk to the pub. Let's talk with them small. Let's talk with people who follow it so that we can know what they have to say. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Jesus.
Good morning. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Roger H. Roger, and I joined you from my Harvard resident. Yeah, firstly, I want to say thanks to the CEO of A.Shaffah.Foundation for the level of work in terms of promoting academic in the district, and thanks to this Congress Institute coming to take all the upcoming activities. You know, we always think about them because this is very good for us, and especially for the kids and other young children. It will keep them together, keep them focused. Yeah, so we will say thank them that their eyes beyond the ball. And, you know, thank you so much.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So the number is 0777 969696 is the number you can use to call. Maybe you have questions to what the team was saying. I think it'll be good to addressing that tomorrow. I'm told that the coaches from those 50 schools will be trained tomorrow at 10 o'clock at the Harvard Multilateral Auditorium. So maybe someone listening, I think that's all I can do for you. And if you don't come and leave with the country director to decide whether your school will be a part. So it's important that you call and ask a question on 0777 969696. The competition of this particular process has to do with stage 1, 2, and 3 when it comes to walking away with money, serious money. So the first winner, according to them, for the spelling bee will be walking away with 75,000 Liberian dollars. Now he just makes some adjustment to what I was saying, that that is cool. But again, the person who win it will be different. So he said, you the life of our school, so they get the money and decide what we'll do. But again, that's how I just have to say that so that at least the parents who are listening, maybe their school part of or maybe your child in our school, and you know your child capability, maybe it will be a part. I think it's a boost for you so that you can be able to encourage that child. You say, that's more money. So when you win it, I don't care what happens, say the school will give us some. So be strong and courageous. So, and I like that because the fact that the first guest that I had, I like what one of the callers said, is that the out of mind is the devil worship. So making your children busy, getting involved into this kind of competition, I think is good for our community, for our society, and it's important. So that's why you need to encourage your children. If you have 1 or 2 part of the competition, you're hearing the kind of money I'm talking about here. Now you mean talking about they have said it because the money not coming from my pocket, they coming from people who will be able to be a part of it. So you have to get that to the fullest of what we're talking about. So, another thing we left out that you want to inject in while we're still waiting for the callers to participate, 0777 969696. Like all that people have said, who have exhausted it and they want to just wait for that time, which is the 4th of April and that of the 21st. And is that what the 21st, the 4th, the 28th?
Is the launch.
Come closer and see what you're saying.
The 21st is the launch.
The 21st of March?
Yeah, March is launch.
Okay.
The 28th of March.
The 28th of March.
The 28th of March will be the
second round.
The
first round.
Okay, the first
game.
The first game.
Then
Which will be the 20th of March.
Yeah, the 4th will be the second game.
Okay. So the game going how many times?
3 times. The first, second, and the third.
Okay.
So the third game will be the 28th or 8th.
And the venue for this all coming event?
Okay, the venue is Abek Town Hall. That's a Cardintree Town Hall, rather. The venue is Cardintree Town Hall.
Okay. So another thing to squeeze our time is up.
Yeah.
I think I see you on.
So the one thing I want to add is that there were some schools we tried reaching. Some of them their numbers were off, and some their number ranked, and they didn't pick both Lone Star and Orange, and they didn't pick their call out. So the only thing we want to say to them, if they are following the broadcast, once you receive the communication from us, though you didn't receive a call now because probably your number was off, and some of them actually their phone was off, and some the phone rang and there was no response. So you can also make your way to the coaches training tomorrow by sending in your coaches once you receive a letter from us. Or perhaps you are interested in a game, you can also come. Even if we were not also able to have given you letter, you can also make your way to the hall tomorrow at 10 a.m. here at the Harbour Multilateral High School.
Some school preparators listening, and now that you have come up with you have 51 schools that you already have to working with, you still taking school beside the number that you have?
All my night turn up.
Okay.
All my night turn up.
51
my night turn up, and it's always the case most often, because some of them in fact some of those schools will start coming when we are on the launching and say, oh, I want to be a part, and it's a competition. Sometimes that, like I said, my director sometimes decide upon that whether we should take them.
Yes.
So those schools that we call and they were not able to have come up pick on their call, when you receive the communication, you can come tomorrow.
Okay, just to add to that, we those schools are, when we were not able to reach yesterday, we will still try reaching out to them today, because we don't want anyone shaving blades here. The thing is, if you not attend the coaches training, it means your school is not part of the competition, because you will not have our rules, and there are a lot of things that will be said there that you may not be aware of. So come to the competition with that mind that you did not attend the workshop, you don't know your way out, we will still experience some of the thing we experienced there, and what we're trying to evolve. So if you are not part of the coaches training, it means
obviously you will not
your
be
school will not be part of the competition.
Now, what's the fear if just in case you bring such a school on board?
We might have some level of disturbances that what we experience from the past game. So to avoid that, we want to stress emphasis on the coaches workshop, because we will be discussing a lot of things to protect the process. We are dealing with school-going kids, so to have their teachers or coaches, and let me say, misbehaving in the hall, it will not be a good example for them. So if you not attend the coaches training, it means you might not know these things. So
following from yourself, gotta go. My time is up.
So this I want to say a very big thank you to you for the time being, and thanks to the people who have been following the program. So we just want to encourage all of our school administrators and the coaches that as you are coming, don't forget the first edition, wear your good behavior and come. So like my director have said, once you don't turn up for the coaches training tomorrow, definitely your school will be disqualified. So folks, I'd like to say a very pleasant good day from my end here.
Okay, just to conclude, I want to encourage the listener that on the day of the competition, we would like to have them coming to watch the children play the game. The game can be very interesting. So I think if you are in a community and school coming from the community, you can follow the school to come and watch the game. Another thing for those who might not be able to make their way to the hall, you can follow our Facebook page. The A.Shaffah.Foundation is on Facebook. The game is there live, our past game, and this edition will also be there live. So you can go help in supporting the initiative by liking, subscribing, and sharing the videos. You can also go to our YouTube channel and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have all of our activities on our YouTube channel.
Okay, so that's how we leave you on the program. Good morning, my GB. You listen to the team from A.Shaffah.Foundation, the second edition of the spelling bee competition. And they were telling you about the whole rundown. And tomorrow is set for the coaches so they can be trained for the upcoming event. So if I were like you, especially when my school was captured into the process, it's about time now you have yourself adjusted for tomorrow because you listen to them. If you are not a part, obviously your school is out. You can beg for now to Christmas Day, you will not be a part. So I think him to the wise is quite sufficient. Thank you so much for following this morning's edition. Thank you. Yeah.